range from 30 to about 50. 30 to, I think it was 45, 30 to 45. So length of retirement by our individual estimation is between 30 and 45. Personally, I have longer expectation for my retirement years. I want to have at least 60 years retirement years. So I want to live very long. At least I want to break some records too. And one of the records likely will be he lived the longest so far. And I know my family, we don't die early. Okay, in my family we don't die early. That's true. And so and yet I want to beat the record of the longest living member of my family, of my town. Okay, so I have a plan by the grace to live some good number of years more at retirement. So depending on, my plan is well above 60, 70 years or at retirement. So having said this, let me put the question to you. How much do you consider enough? Just put it in figure. And don't just put zeros without any thinking. Okay, how much do you think is enough for those of you that want to have 35 years of retirement life? Some of you want to have 45 years of retirement life. How much do you think, if you have, will be sufficient for your retirement years? So let's put it in the chat box now, and we're going to do something. I'm going to do something about that. So put it in the chat box for you. How much do you think will be enough to take care of your retirement years? So let's assume that you are that one that want to live 50 years in retirement. That means probably you are retiring at 60, you want to live 50 more years, that's 110. Or you are retiring at 50, you want to live 50 more years, that's 100. How much do you consider as good enough that if I have this, retirement will be sweet for me, will be good for me? Okay, so let's engage. We are about 15 in this room, so let's engage. Let's make this conversation very very interesting and engaging. So I want to see feedback from you. How much? Okay. 2 billion naira. Okay, so please, like I said, don't just give figures. You are going to tell me how you arrive at that 2 billion naira. Okay, so it's not just to give. That's why I said don't just write zero. So you are just saying 2 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0. This is 2,000, 2 million, 2,000, 2 million, 2 billion. So you just put in zeros, okay? You should be able to also let me know how you arrive at this figure, okay? How much do you consider? YEMI, Ifeoma, Adeniji, Scott, Dr. Ayodele, Aye, all of us, how much do you consider as good enough to keep you in retirement? Okay, quickly. I want us to really, so that this training will be fruitful and meaningful. We need to make contributions. Agnes, 300 million for 25 years, 300 million naira for 25 years. Okay, beautiful. Who again is there? David, George, Joseph, Joy, Oluseyi, Olutosin, Omawumi, Ocha Wealth, Silos. Please, let's drop figures and let it be something you can explain. Okay, and sure, let's drop figures. Only 2 people for now. Only 2 people. 2 billion, 300 million for 25 years. Yeah. So please, let's drop figures. Okay. I'm not seeing any figure. 385 million for 30 years. Okay, so I want to start putting this in an Excel sheet. Okay, I have Moses 2 billion. Okay, let me format this into okay, let me is my screen shared? Okay, beautiful. So you can see. So I'll be taking your information and be putting it here. 150,000 million, 150 million, 150 million, 500 million for 50 years. Okay, so continue dropping it, please. Taye says 300 million. Taye, 300 million. Okay, then Dr. Ayodele say, 385 million. Okay, let me start adding your years. So Moses, how many years do you want to live? How many years do you want to have at retirement? Just give me your number of years, Moses. And for the rest of us, let's be adding years. So Taye says 300 million for 25 years, and Dr. There's 385 million for 30 years, and Scott, okay, Moses says 50 years, so 50, and Scott says 500 million for 500 million for 50 years. Okay. Yemi says 150 million for 29 years at retirement. Adeniji says 250 million for 35 years. And please, is this all? Okay, so no problem. We don't need all the number. We are just in sample data. Okay, and you are all seeing this, I guess. So this is this means divide by this. So Moses, okay, silos. Thank you. Silos is 300 million. For how many years now? How many years? For 25 years. And I hope you understand the number of years. So we are saying, you know, at the beginning of this lecture about 8 weeks ago, we asked ourselves how many years do we want our retirement to be? And so if you say 25, that means if you intend to retire at 50, or let's say 55 or 50, you want to live 75 years. So that's what it means. So let's copy this formula across here. And so what we are saying is Moses wants to spend 57 million naira every year. Taye wants to spend 16 million naira every year. 6 million naira every year. Dr. Ayodele wants to spend 12 million naira every year. Okay, 700. This is Anne. If Anne says if I have 700 million, it's good for me. And how many years do we have there? 50 years. So Taye says sorry, it's 25 years. So where is that? 25 years. Okay. So sorry, Moses is the 50 years, isn't it? Okay. This is who again? Omawumi is 2 billion. I'm not going to take anything again so that we can continue. 2 billion for 50 years. Okay. So for Moses wants to spend 40 million every year. Taye wants to spend 12 million every year. Dr. Ayodele wants to spend 12 million every year. Scott wants to spend 10 million every year. The YEMI wants to spend 5 million every year. Adeniji wants to spend 7 million every year, and Silas wants to spend 12 million every year. Anne wants to spend 14 million every year, and Omawumi wants to spend 40 million every year. Now, I'll take this, and then I will open another sheet. But let me make this very big a little. So I'm sure we are seeing this. I'm seeing it on my monitoring screen. Okay. So this is how much we want to spend per annum. Now, I know that we are tending towards the lecture for today, and that is, how much do you consider sufficient? How much do you consider okay, enough, that if I have it in my account on my retirement, I will be able to, I'll be fine. Now, let me ask the next question. Currently, every one of us that have dropped this figure, you are still going to give me additional information. How many years do you have to retirement from 2024? How many years do you have to retirement? Now, you already have, don't forget, we already have our number of years we want to spend at retirement. I don't want to ask how old are you now, but how many years do you have to the date of your retirement from 2024? Okay, that means if you intend to retire 2030, that means you have 6 more years to your retirement. Are you following? So can you all tell me now, especially those of you that have given me these figures, how many more years do you have to your planned year of retirement? If you plan to retire in 2030, then you have 6 more years. So Moses has 20 more. Moses has 20 more years to retirement. 20. Okay. Dr. Ayodele has 20 more years to retirement. Taye has 8 more years to retirement. Oluseyi has, Oluseyi, did you submit? You didn't submit anything, Oluseyi, for your information. You didn't give me any information before. So I can't add you to this list now. Omawumi has 23 years to retirement. 23 years to retirement. Okay, the question is cut. How many more years do you have from 2024 January to the date the year you want to retire? So, like I said, if you want to retire 2030, from 2024, you have 7 years to retirement. That's 2024, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. You have 7 years more to retirement. Okay, so Anne has 29 years. Okay. Anne has 29 years to retirement. Okay, please, Anne has 29 years. Oluwatosin, you are late already. You are late already. You didn't give me this information from the beginning. So I need for Scott. Scott, how many more years do you have to your retirement? Scott has 6 years. Yemi, I need for you. How many more years do you have to your retirement? Adeniji, I need for you. Silos, I need for you. How many more years do you have to retirement? Scott is 6 years. Adeniji, how many more years to your retirement? Adeniji has 29 more years to retirement. Okay, let's go on. I still need for Yemi and Silos. How many more years do you have to your retirement? You know, retirement, I'm not talking about government retirement. You know when you want to retire, when you wish to retire. So how many more years do you have from 2024 to your retirement year. Is Silos there? Informer, you are late. You didn't give me the other information, so I will not be able to include you. Who again? Silos and YEMI, you are the one we are waiting for. I'm going to take more things, and that's why we can't afford to take everybody who has not submitted earlier on at the other preliminary information. Please change mine to 10 years. Okay, so Scott says 10 years. Please, YEMI, are you here with us? And Silos. Okay, so we'll take it if it comes. Now, the next question is Moses, Taye, Dr. Ayodele, Scott, YEMI, Adeniji, Silos, and Omawumi. How much is in your retirement savings account as we speak? Whether you work for government or you don't work for government, whether you even have a paid job or you don't have, do you have a retirement savings account? I'm not talking about PFA. For somebody, for a well financially literate man, he keeps a retirement savings account, whether the one that government says you must keep or not. I have something I'm storing up for retirement. So let's just give an imaginary number so that nobody is chasing you. Okay, so just give out what is your current balance in your retirement savings account. How much have you accumulated for you towards your retirement? And if you have not accumulated anything, just put 0 there. Okay, so quickly take this. Time is going, but we are going to enjoy today's session because that is the essence of what we are here to learn. Many of us have never thought about this. Many of us have never done these statistics and numbers, and this is what it should. Okay, so Dr. Ayodele said in her retirement savings account as of today, there's 3 million. Okay, and say 550,000. Where's Anne? 550,000. Okay, let me put how many of us know how to use Excel very well? You can also be learning here gradually. 15 here. Okay, 3,550,000. Moses said 513,000. Where's Moses here? Okay, Moses our number one. 513,000. Please, every other person, Taye, how much is in your retirement? I don't have a retirement savings account. Do you? It might not be with a PFA. Do you have any account you are keeping towards retirement? If you still don't have, it's fine. Silos is saying 0. Okay, but Silos, you have not told me how many more years do you have before your planned retirement? Silos, you were busy and didn't give us that. You have 20 more years to your retirement. Okay. Have 15 million tied up in an investment. And is that planned for retirement? Taye, is that your plan for retirement? Or you are all, not all is planned for retirement? Give me the figure from it. Okay, 15 million. Taye say already 15 million. And Taye, you know you are a member of the community, so I'm going to ensure that I get this 15 million from you when it is released. Okay. Scott said I don't have a PFA. I only have, yes. How much is in that PFA? That's what we are asking. If you have a PFA, how much is there? If you don't have a PFA, how much have you kept somewhere in a bank, in an investment that is kept towards your retirement? So Scott, give me that figure. 3.7. Beautiful. 3.7. Many of us are not giving us, okay, and says 3.5 million. And is that in addition to the 550,000 or separate? Should I add it to 550 or it is all together 3.5 million? Mawumi say no, nothing kept towards retirement. And should I add it or I just put 3.5 million all together? Okay. Okay. So, who again is remaining? YEMI, please, you are distracted. Give us your figures. How many more years do you have to your retirement, and how much do you have in your RSA or somewhere you kept towards retirement? Adeniji, give me that figure too. And I think the two of you is who I am waiting for now. So we continue. Some of you that don't give me the full information, you'll be dropping out gradually. Okay, so now what we are saying now is that outstanding, you need 2 billion at retirement, but all you have saved as of today is 513,000. How much more do you need to save before your retirement? And you have 20 years. So you have 1,999,487. Okay. So I want the figures to be large so that we can, so let me just copy this and then we move. So Moses, you have 1.9 billion, 1.95 billion to save in the next 20 years. And Taye has 285 million to save. Dr. Ayodele has 382 million to save. Additional money to be saved towards your retirement. Scott says you have 496,700,000 to save in the next 10 years. And you know what we are now going to do, and so on and so forth. Now, annual outstanding. Now, this is all that you need more to save towards retirement. Now, every year, this is equals to this outstanding divided by the number of remaining years that you have. And that's why I said any number you are giving, try and make it somehow realistic. However, this will tell you whether it is realistic or not. This computation we are doing. So, Moses, from this estimation, our system is telling us if you must have the 2 billion you want at retirement, you need to save 100 million every year for the remaining 20 years that you have to live. You need to save 35,625,35.6 million every year for the next 8 years. Who again? Dr. Ayodele, you need to save 19.1 million every year for the next 20 years for you to enjoy the kind of life you want to enjoy. And so on. Who is this? Court, you need 49 million every year. Okay, you have shared a file. Okay, you want me to share the file? Is that what you're saying? Sorry about that. So you can see the list of us. Who is this now? The list of us is Adeniji, probably because he has the longest number of years more to retire, needs to save 8.6 million every year to be able to have how much he intended that he needed to spend at retirement for 25 years. Is that clear? Are we following now? Now, having done all of this, with the exception of YEMI, who has not given us sufficient information, I will say that the next thing that we need to know is taking us to the topic that we are here to discuss this afternoon. And you know what it is called? So now, this is a clear cut of our ambition, and this is your ambition, okay? And so that takes us to the topic of today, defined ambition. You see, most of the time in life, we only wish for things, we don't actually properly define them and articulate them. So you can see it's very cheap to want to imagine that at retirement, what you need for the rest of your life is 2 billion naira to spend. It's very cheap. Anybody can put any zero. Do you understand? Now, let's divide Moses' ambition by 10. That means he wants to spend 10 times less of 2 billion, which was 200 million. If Moses was going to have 200 million to spend for the rest of his life in 50 years, 50 years at retirement, you still need to contribute 10 million every year to it. Now, let's even put this to monthly outstanding. Let's put this to monthly outstanding equals to our annual outstanding divided by 12. So, Moses, even if what you intend to spend at retirement is 200 million naira, you need to be making 832,000 naira contribution towards retirement every month. Is that clear? Oh, who is having this broad laugh is still the same most, because it is cheap, very cheap to make, to want to enjoy life. But the truth is that I'm cutting all of you that has 2 billion by 10 so that we will have it at 200 million. And yet, for you to have this life, 200 million to spend at retirement, you need to be making 725,000 contribution monthly. Monthly. Did you hear what I said? Monthly towards your retirement. Now, having said this, and then we can take it on, Taye, you have 2.9 million, let's say 3 million every month that you must be contributing towards retirement. 3 million every month if you must enjoy this lifestyle at retirement. Then we go to Dr. Adele, you need to contribute 1.6 million every month to be able to have 385 million at the end of at the end of your work life when you want to start retirement. Same goes for Scott, 4.2 million every month. Adeniji, 718,000 every month. Silos, 1.25 million every month, and 2 million every month. And normal will be 724,000 every month. This is what we call defined ambition. And you know why it is called that? This is a model that is implemented in advanced countries. It's a retirement planning model that is implemented. And how does that come? In fact, many for jurisdictions that have adequate and strong retirement advisory services being by our so-called PSs and all of that, and including regulator, what they do is at the beginning of your work life, somebody sits you down and take these statistics from you. When do you want to retire? You say, I want to retire at age 40. How old are you now? I am 18. 18 minus 40, you have 22 years to work. And so what kind of life do you want to enjoy? Now, we are going to break down this again into another sheet. So permit me to copy this. Okay. Let me copy this into another sheet. Let me have another sheet here. And let me have another sheet here. And this is 1, 2. Okay. So on 2 here, let me paste special, place format, paste special, paste column width, paste special, paste values. Okay. So let's use this table now. I hope I have moved. Okay, beautiful. Now, the next thing they're going to do, don't forget, number 1, in defined ambition planning, the first thing you want to do is, let's take this note. Number one, how old are you now? Number 2, at what age do you want to retire? Number 3, what is the amount you will have that will be sufficient? Okay, at what age you want to retire? Okay, number 3 question is the same way we followed it. The next question is, how many years do you plan to live at retirement? It's all planning. It doesn't mean you will die in the year you predicted, okay? So there's nothing to fear. And then the next thing, what amount will you have that will be sufficient for you to spend in the number of your retirement years? Okay, are we following? Now, when you have this information, then this amount, that's why I want to cut this now. This amount is not going to just be taken. I asked you for a figure, but actually in proper planning, this is not what you are going to do. What you are going to be asked is, what kind of lifestyle will you want to enjoy at retirement? So now let's come back to that. What kind of lifestyle would you want or love to enjoy at retirement? That is what will lead you to the figure of how much you need at retirement, okay? So number 1, let me give you an instance. Number 1, for me, let me define my own for you. Like I was telling somebody, and let's just take this as imaginary anyway. It might not represent me completely, but let's take it as imaginary. Like one of my bosses who retired some months ago she said, I want to go out of circulation for 1 year before I will come back. Do you understand? So what I want to do at retirement is I want to have 3 months tour of at least 12 countries. 3 months tour of at least 12 countries. Okay. Number 2 is I want to, after this, that is just to calm my head and to see around the world. Number 2 is I want twice a year to travel to a country of my choice. That means every 6 months, I want to fly. Okay, let me conclude this, for at least 7 days each, so that it will be smart and we can easily calculate how much it will cost. Okay, let me word this. Wow. Okay, so now the next thing is, I don't want to be that father that when the children, when they have new babies, the mother will go and do omogo and the father will be eating bread at home. So any of my children that want us to do omogo must be ready for mommy and daddy to come and do omogo. Are you getting it? Are you following? Now, So men, take care of yourself. Oh. If not, mommy will be traveling, your wife will be traveling for Omogo. She will cook stew, we will cook rice, we cook ogbono, okra mixed and white, and put it in different compartments because if she's a good woman, and put it in different compartments of the fridge and say, I'll be back in 3 months, and then you will be alone. But I will let my children know. And in fact, their mom always tell them, thank you, Scott. Their mom always tell them, if you want me to come for Mogo, be ready to accommodate me and my husband. I cannot leave my husband for 3 months, even 1 month, even 2 weeks to come and do a Mogo. Are you getting it now? So, and apart from the fact that they must be ready to accommodate us, I don't want to plan to put the burdens on them. So not getting audio, is it everybody or one particular person has a particular network challenge in his own side? So I want to be able to, that means if I do a rough estimate, okay, maybe once in 2 years, 1 month, is it Omugon? Is it how they write it? 1 month Omugon, once in every 2 years. So maybe my child has a baby, I go, none of them is prepared to have the following year, once every other year, 1 month Omugon. Okay, now self-care, that's number 4. Self-care, at least I'll take care of myself all around the year. Number 5, what again? Okay, once every 5 years, I don't think that's too bad, have a change of car. Once every 5 years, have a change of car. Get the latest car once every 5 years. I don't think that's too much. If you think it's too much, we can go to court. Okay, so this is let's just stop at this because of our time. I am showing you what defined ambition is, and I want every one of you, okay, to and do defined ambition for your retirement, and you are going to send it to my email. Okay, now you have my email in the chat room now. Okay, and let the title of your mail read Retirement Defined Ambition FiMwYA, that's Financial Mentoring with YEMI Ayodele. Okay, please. So you are going to do this. Now, we are not done yet. Now, for each one, you will now estimate what this is going to cost. 3 months to 12 countries. So let's even assume that flight to each of those countries will cost 12 times flight. Let's estimate 500,000 for each flight one way. I hope you know how much flight costs now. An average return flight now is 3 million naira. Now, by the new exchange rates, because of the new exchange rates, all flight-related transactions were done at BN rates in the past, but now there's wide rates. Okay, so if you don't know, let me just tell you that now. So, flight alone for the 12 countries, I should add 1 because of the return, the only 1 return flight. So 13 ways, 6.5 million. Okay, I now add hotel in 12 locations. Maybe for each of the locations, maybe every day 50,000. 50,000, yes, 50,000. times 90 days. That's hotel. Okay, this is flight. This is what's this? Okay. This is flight, this is hotel. Let's say for food, let's say it's every day equals to, let's say 50,000 times 90 days. Then we talk about, just other costs, others, 50,000 times 90. Okay. So then let's sum it here. You can see that financial planning is not what you just imagine in your head. Equals, okay, let me just use some. So I need 20 million naira for the 3-month tour of 12 countries. That's very cheap. I know that figure is underestimated. Twice a year travel to a country of my choice. Twice. So flight, it will be 2 equals 2 times 500. No, 2 twice, go and so it's 4. 4 times 500,000. Hotel is 50,000 times 14 days. That's 7 twice. Okay. The same will go here. Okay. Now, once in a year, 1 month or more go, I know that my children are responsible. They will not ask me to feed myself. So all I need, and I don't want to put the burden on them, is the flight for myself and my wife for those 2 trips. So this trip, hey, I've forgotten that all of these figures will be times 2 because I'm not going alone. Okay. So 1 month or more go is just 2-way. That's four ways for 2 people, 2 times 500,000. And then, no, this 50,000, 500,000, and then the rest is 0, 0, 0, 0, because my children will take care of my food. I will not lodge in an hotel. Okay, so the next thing is what? Self-care. So let me estimate self-care. I'm not too extravagant, but let me estimate 200,000 every month. Times 12 times the length of my years. I've said I'm doing 60. Okay, this annual. Okay, this is just annual. That's 2.4. Every year I want to change. Every 5 years I want to change my car. So that would be, you know, I love good cars. So maybe a car of 5 million. By 5 years, so we see the annual contribution to it. And so let's see annual total of my retirement, 35 million every year. This is, like I said, I've not taken care of so many things. However, 35 million, let's go. Then annual, this is annual. And then I'm going to say 60 years is my plan retirement years, equals to this times 60. Then that's 2. You can see now I'm qualified for a 2 billion estimates. Now I'm going to also put 20%, or let's say 20%, both inflation and miscellaneous. Okay, so no, let me do 5% miscellaneous. So equals this times 105%. Okay, then I do 20% in our country here, inflation, okay, equals this times 120%. So what I need, you can see that it's not what you just imagine and give figure. What I need to have the kind of retirement ambition that I want to have is 2.7 billion naira. Okay? So this is what I want everybody to do between today and Friday, latest. Okay? I want to do this. First, do your defined ambition sheet like this. Then come here to do the breakdown how you arrive at this first ambition. So it is that figure there. Let me now come here and say YEMI Ayodele. And I now say, what is my defined ambition? Let me copy this figure now. Okay. And come here and put it as paste special. I want to paste value. Okay. Yeah. So I can now put it here and say 2.68 million. Can you see it? What is this number of years? My retirement year is 60. I mean, I want to spend 60 years after retirement. You are not good with Excel. Oh, yeah, but just put it in Word. But make sure that all of these components are there and use your calculator. And then per annum, this is per annum, isn't it? So I can now copy this formula and put here. If I must have this, I must be able to do 44 million per annum. What is my current retirement savings account balance? Let me say I already have 6 million in my retirement savings, 1,000 million. And the remaining years to retirement are just 5 years. Okay, I don't want to put the number because it's even less. Outstanding, okay. So I need this. I already have this. What is the outstanding? Like nothing has been taken. Okay. So now I'm even seeing a mistake here. Okay, per annum for these years. Okay, this is how much I spent per annum. This is how much I intend to spend per annum. This. Okay. So with this, I need to contribute a minimum of 645,000 every month, 7.8 million every year to be able to do my 38 million to arrive at my 2.7 billion at the end of. So if I'm able to meet up with this every month, I should have my 2 billion at retirement. And I can now live this kind of life that I have put in my ambition here. That is what is called defined ambition. If you would love me to retake this next week, I will not mind, but I must have your submission between now and Friday, review it, and then so that we can discuss some of it anonymously in the next meeting, and I can put you right in so many things that you might need to think about. So, but where to start from is not how much do I account retirement, is to define your ambition. Okay? And to define your ambition, this is what you need to do. Can you see this? This is what you need to do to define your ambition. What kind of lifestyle will you love to enjoy at retirement? And the questions, you will now list it and multiply it by the number of years that you have to spend to remaining to retirement and get all your figures. And then by then, you can say I put 5% million. Then in case there are some things I forget 5%, I added it. Then I added inflation. And then that figure here is now what I will copy to my defined ambition and calculate backward to what do I need to be contributing to my retirement life today so that I can have the kind of life I want to live tomorrow. Is that clear? If you have learned anything today, please can you just put a comment, a sentence or two in the chat box as we round up. Let me save this. I don't know how to, where is my FiMwYA folder? Okay. So retirement, define ambition, FiMwYA. I will want you to add your name to the name of the file when you are sending it. You can see what I'm saying. Retirement, defined ambition. Instead of FiMwYA, put your own name. Put your own name. Put Moses. Put Aisha. Put YEMI. Okay. So, and save it. Thank you. Please, I want your comments. I'm trying to see where can I attach the file on my computer. I'm trying to see. I've not done this before, but everything has to be done for the first time somehow. So let me trace it. FiMwYA folder, and then I have my retirement defined ambition. Cannot be saying it is currently in use, okay? Who stop sharing my screen? Please don't scatter the work. It's closed. Okay. So let me come back and try. I now know that it is not enough to have an ambition, but there are steps that can bring the ambition to reality. Thank you. That is the essence of this training. That is why a lot of us think the kind of, we just imagine it without taking any step. And at the end of the day, when the reality dawns, then it's a big thing. So I've sent that file as a sample, so you can download it on your own end and use it as a guide. While next week, we are going to, now we are tending towards, there's a serious work to be done. Thank you. There's serious work to be done. So please, I've dropped the file in the chat room. I will give you 2 minutes. What an eye-opener. I shouldn't wish for a good life after retirement. I must build it to reality. There's serious work to be done. That's exactly. This is mind-blowing, an eye-opener. Retirement needs a lot of planning, including savings, yes. But like I said, saving, you can see I'm taking this towards the end. We've done more than 8 weeks of lecture or 7 weeks of lecture, and we're just talking about money for the first time, because money is not even the beginning. Your emotional and psychological stability is more important at retirement than the money you have. Somebody can have that 2 billion and die in 1 month of retirement because it's emotionally unstable and had no idea of what is going to come to him at retirement, and didn't plan anything and just enter retirement. And it was a shock. Okay. Work is sweet. Thank you. Okay. I needed that comment. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Have we all downloaded that file before we close? So once again, it's a beautiful time having you here. And I know the last 8 weeks have been fun for me. Have been a lot of discovery as I also study more before I come to talk to you, to know that retirement is not just what we should allow to jump in on us before we think about planning it. Don't wait for retirement to crash in on you. Start thinking about retirement. As a matter of fact, if we had known these things, we would have started talking about retirement from the day we picked up our first job, or from the point we graduated from school. And so it is very important. I can't download here, please. Wow. You can download. Okay. If you cannot download and you have an email, I believe that you have my number. Please forward your email to me. I can, let me see. Let me download it on my phone so that I can send it through the WhatsApp. Let me see if I can download it here. Okay, beautiful. Open with an app, download complete. Okay, beautiful. So let me see if I can just broadcast it.